Just working with our company, you're going to get to work with a lot of bright individuals.
Everyone is open and ready to help you, and definitely big on advocating for making sure that you succeed and reach your potential.
Everyone's goal is the same, to make the best products that we can for our clients and make sure that it is everything and more that it could be.
What's kept me here? Our culture. We're genuinely a very great group of people. Everyone's just always willing to lend a hand.
When I have a suggestion or a concern and I voice it, leadership actually hears me.
As a consultancy, every person has a role and has something to bring to the table. There's just a lot of opportunities here if you're up for the challenge.
Jump on board, be part of the fun ride, because we're going places.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
Thanks to you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Indiana. Let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
The Rose-Hulman men's basketball team sitting in 6th place in the race for the 6 top spots in the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. They entered today's contest at 6-7 in the conference, 8-12 overall. They've lost their last 3. They're hoping to get a win today over a Defiance team that comes in at 1-18, 0-13 in the conference, and they've lost 17 in a row. Today's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Aspen Creek Grill, why go anywhere else for delicious food? Burtner Electric, providing quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker Local 374, we're second to none in quality and performance. Passion to Care, give them a call at 317-537-1811. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves business forward. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. And by the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, watch the best Division III basketball on HCAC.tv, where you always have a front row seat. Troy Dergowski, Jack Edwards, we get ready for this one here today. It's our second game, and a Rose-Hulman team that if you look at the season so far, Jack, it's been up and down. Right now they're on the downside, hoping to get a win today to help them in that number 6 spot in the conference.
Yeah, starting December 9th with a loss against Mountain St. Joseph. That was 6 losses in a row, 5 wins in a row, followed that in January, and now 3 losses in a row. Admittedly, those last 3 losses against the top 3 teams currently in the conference, so some tough competition they've been facing in these last few weeks, especially on the road against Transylvania and Anderson in their last 2 games. And against Anderson, they just got lit up. A program record 19 three-pointers made by Anderson. And they were just incredibly efficient from beyond the arc, able to put up 118 points in that one. They're hopeful to get this one. You already mentioned it. Defiance, a struggling season for them at just 1-18. We mentioned it. Similar on the women's side, season of transition. A lot of things can change next year, moving to NAIA. But this feels, in a lot of ways, like a must-win for Rose-Hulman with what's coming up, if they want to stay in those top 6 spots.
Well, it all starts with Miles McGowan. This young man has had an incredible season, nearly 15 points per game, and when he is on, and we have seen him go off in this gymnasium, he's going to be really hard to stop. 7
double-doubles on the season. He's just a dominant player down low. You know that's where he's going to get his bread and butter. He's in the paint, down low, huge 6'7" frame. Even though you know what to expect, you don't quite know what to expect, but you know generally that he's going to try and be in that area of the court. He's still incredibly dominant down there. He's going to be the player to watch out for Defiance. They have a few options. Cole Wojciechowski potentially at 6'10". They've tried to use him sometimes as a big. We'll see what they're going to try and toss against him for Defiance, trying to get a bounce-back win, trying to get their second win of the season.
Now their team shoots well, though. You're talking about 40% on one side and about 42% on the other, so shooting has been a problem.
Shooting has been a problem for both teams, and that really just means that, you know, we saw last game for Rose-Hulman. Anderson were the ones that just got hot. I mean, they scored 80 points, Rose-Hulman did, and that was still just nothing. They lost by 38. So really, there's a lot of openness to this game that the records, you know, there's disparity there. But there can be potential for a bit of uncomfort. An upset, I'm not trying to go that far, but maybe a bit of discomfort. We'll see how it pans out for Rose-Hulman.
Well, let's go to our public address announcer for today's starting lineups. So there you have the starters for tonight's matchup. Let's talk about keys to this one. I know you touched on a couple of things early, but we saw the women for Rose-Hulman get off to a fast start. They go on for a dominating win. Does this really count for the men, too, get off to a good start?
It was exactly my thought for, on the Rose-Hulman side of things, the key. They had 44 bench points last game. They actually outscored the starters, who only scored 36 last time out. I'd love to see them come out strong, try and see turn around improved games for both Harden and Studemeyer in that backcourt. That's what I'm hopeful for Rose-Hulman. Just get off to a strong start. Don't put the bench in a spot where it's a bit uncomfortable. Try and follow what the women did and get off to a great start.
And for Defiance, give yourself a chance to win in the fourth quarter.
Give yourself a chance to win. They've kept themselves close in some of their games recently. It was just 36-31 at the end of the first half against Earlham, and they got pulled away, though, obviously, second half. Ended up losing by 11 points. They kept it close, but again, the runs can just plague you.
Cole Pride on the high post. They're going high-low to McGowan down low. Missed it. And a rare miss, you'll see McGowan inside.
54% from two, and a lot of those are real close to the basket. He's incredibly efficient. That was a good look, and one you'd imagine he'd make more often than not.
Defiance trying to get that goose egg off the board in the conference, and a quick whistle. I don't think it's going to be McGowan. I think they'll get inside to Harden.
Yep, that's big for McGowan, because if he gets the foul early on, I mean, within 35 seconds of this game, that can begin to change your thought process, how aggressive you are defensively and offensively, and also a big one here for Park to just try and get things going. Didn't do a ton in terms of his just getting on the scoreboard last time out. 15 minutes, just had one steal and one foul. That was his only stats he put up in 15 minutes as a starter last time out. This time round already getting involved with the 2 free throws.
So the early start here by Defiance, they lead it 2-0. Rose-Hulman will count a lot on Studemeyer, Rocco Ritchie, and Harden, their 3 guards. That is Harden, the lone senior. Skip pass. Rocco Ritchie for 3, no. Ball high for the rebound. Tipped momentarily by Swanner. Will head the other way. You know, and you're looking at a Defiance team, you know, the bottom line is they have really nothing to lose. Nice play there by Gelhausen.
Yeah, really good work by him down low. Just attack that one. 4-0 lead. Again, yeah, not house money. It's a competitive game. They want to win, but they really can just play a bit looser. This is a lot more pressure on Rose-Hulman, so a bit of a risk for them to not overlook. But again, there can be a lot of positives to be taken here for Defiance and just try and attack this one possession at a time.
This is McGowan. They're going to really power him inside and force him to shoot that shot a little further from the basket.
Even when he's a bit further away, that one, he still is just so good at crafting the angle for himself, able to put it in a spot that he likes, not directly under the basket, but still able to be a big threat.
You know what was interesting is Jordan Jury was the guy on him down there, kind of giving him a couple of elbows here and there.
Have to do that, have to put your body into him.
But he's only 6'2".
There's only so much you can do at that point, but you have your limits, but you got to attack it the best you can.
Ball went out of bounds. We'll stay here with the Yellow Jackets. You know, we mentioned, and we talked about earlier, that Cole Wojciechowski at 6'10". We'll probably see him in the lineup eventually if they don't rebound well.
Definitely.
6 on the shot clock. Here's a 3 on the way. That's missed by Swanner. In transition. Harden to Pride, lost it on the way up, first turnover.
Good hands, try and make that one uncomfortable defensively.
Defiance back the other way, basket good by Brooks.
Great job being fearless, just going into the contact, still able to push through. A strong start for Defiance, 6-2.
Pride down low, will feed him. McGowan layup good.
Good combo work between the two of them. You saw him put on the goggles. And just a great bit of passing work from Pride to just keep his head up and know that he's got McGowan streaming in. A bit of a delayed run from him.
So the lead at 2. Jordan Jury along with his brother Reed out of Bascom, Ohio. Here's a 3, top of the key. That is missed by Gelhausen. So now Rose-Hulman a chance to tie or take the lead here. Entry pass for Pride, lost it for the moment. Studemeyer back to McGowan. McGowan will miss the shot, bad angle, able to get the rebound for the moment, and a foul called against Defiance.
Yeah, someone just slapping the hand of McGowan as he tried to bring in that rebound. Foul down low. There's a good pace to this game. Both teams getting up and down the court quickly, trying to just get down low.
That last foul called on Brooks. Now Brooks getting the assignment against McGowan. The double team came and Gelhausen got the steal.
Really great work on the support side, just coming in on his blind side, just took that one out of his hands.
Once again, Defiance in the half court, 18 on the shot clock. Ball stripped away and a steal. First turnover for Defiance.
Yeah, some aggressive defense from both sides. We saw McGowan trying to just jump past that screen and be aggressive with the ball handler. In the end, a steal, just being very active, both teams are.
Rocco Ritchie, Pride, he can hit that three, so they cover him up quickly. Now it'll be Harden. Once again, McGowan back to Harden. Shot clock down to 6. Here's McGowan on the drive. McGowan short on the shot. Long rebound, Rocco Ritchie. Here is Pride, straight away from 15, good.
Bit of a broken play after the offensive rebound. Pride just found himself in a good area, just fired into him, and just able to turn around, basically a free throw for him, but it counts for 2 points.
Going to see some changes already for both squads. Jury with the basketball. This will be Brooks, tied at 6. Looking to get it down low. And then somehow Jury got wide open on the other side and lays it in.
Yeah, just a lapse in concentration defensively, but that was well done by Park to be conscious of the guy right behind him coming along the baseline. Good bit of handling by the big man.
In fact, Rose-Hulman's going to bring 3 new players in. That's the drive and the miss. And the putback good by McGowan.
Yeah, leads the team with 8.7 boards a game. And with 14.7 points as well. He's just always active down low. Those second chance points, they're vital.
Harden missing that shot, but McGowan able to clean it up. Here's a drive by Brooks. Good ball movement here by Defiance. Swanner, nothing there as Rocco Ritchie has him on defense. Swanner now with the left hand in the corner. Jury shot fake. Lost the ball on the floor. Harden is down there scrambling after the loose basketball. It goes out of bounds.
Yeah.
They'll say actually Studemeyer there loses it out of bounds.
Yeah, I think he threw it off his own leg in the end and ends up going out of play. Both players laying out for it.
Timeout on the floor. We're tied at 8.
If there is one thing wrong in your aircraft, you're gonna fail. Finding the right answer and trying again, that's really what dragged me to aerospace. This is a 3D printed airplane which I made over my freshman year at Rose-Hulman that can be radio controlled and flown. I saw other people making amazing stuff on 3D printers and I thought if I combined that art of 3D printing with engineering, I could make something as complex as an airplane. So I got the idea as a sophomore in high school and I just tried. I did it. I failed a couple times. But it all changed when I came to Rose-Hulman. I got in touch with Dr. Riley, who is an aerospace and ME professor, who really asked me great questions about the concepts of my design. So pursuing such project as a freshman, it just lets me feel amazing that I have still 3 years to do something much more complex than this, and it will lead me much further.
Today's game brought to you in part by Officially Human. Their mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the fields and the courts. Thanks to our officials, because without them, we don't play. Sponsorship and sportsmanship, I should say, or sponsorship, is everyone's job. All right, early tie ball game at 8. That'll be thrown into the backcourt and run down by Swanner.
Great hands.
Boy, turnover there by Brooks. Second turnover now by Defiance. Quick ball movement into the corner. Shot fake, pull-up jumper with the left hand is no good. As into the lineup now will be Benny Smith.
Yeah, he'll want that one back. Just think a little too tentative with that. Just trying to float that one with the left hand.
Games I have done, I have not seen Benny Smith in the lineup.
Yeah, both him and Piontek was the one who got the steal just before then, already off the bench. Another sub making a contribution there.
Yeah, Jack Janigas in the lineup now. And that'll be a travel before the shot against Studemeyer. Third turnover now.
One extra step Both teams, getting their joy down low and within the three-point arc throughout this one. They've tried the threes, both of them have, but all 8 coming inside at the free throw line.
Last time we were here, Harry Weston came up big, and we hadn't seen Harry Weston all season long. Wojciechowski at 6'10", missed it.
Massive presence down low.
Piantek, nothing there. Janegas will kick it outside once again as Studemeyer, along with Smith, are now the 2 guards that'll play it out on the perimeter. Here is Studemeyer for 3. It's good.
Great work by him. Had a bit of space. Trust him to hit those shots. Had just 2 points last time out. Already beaten that today with 3.
You mentioned Wojciechowski at 6'10", got a big body down inside. Not sure how much touch he has on some of his shots.
We'll see.
That shot's going to be missed by Brooks.
I think with McGowan, the key's got to be get up and down the court, test the endurance, make sure he's got to work hard to get and make an impact on both sides. We'll see the matchup already here.
McGowan. Wojciechowski there, but McGowan with the jump hook.
Yeah, it'll be a timeout for Defiance. And I'm not sure for Wojciechowski what more you can do there. You get the body into him, you force him away from the basket a little bit, and you can't foul him, but you have the hand up and just the hook shot. Really, really well done by McGowan.
Today's game brought to you in part by Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe. They offer traditional food like Grandma used to make. Great staff, even better food. Check them out Wednesday through Sunday and give them a call at 317-760-1640. Wojciechowski at 6'10", 285, out of Mishawaka and played at Penn High School.
And they run him just 12 minutes a game on average. You imagine they'll try and get him in more today, considering the paint presence of McGowan. Might be a similar situation, where you've got, interesting, McGowan doesn't look like he's back out on the court for this one, so it might be a chance to try and run Wojciechowski off the court and then get McGowan back out. So it's a case of when can you drop your big men and have them make an impact. There's a balancing act there.
That is Wojciechowski. Jury will feed it to Brooks. Still plenty on the shot clock. Jury on the drive, and Studemeyer will be called for the foul. Studemeyer just picking up foul number 1. Just the second team foul now in Rose-Hulman with a 5-point lead. And Jury at the line for the first time today.
Big free throws here. There had been a slight cold spell for Defiance. I kind of wondered how did they get to a 5-point game. Not a huge lead, obviously, but felt like it kind of snuck up to that point. That's because Defiance hadn't put up points in quite a while, and those 2 free throws important to keep them around in this one.
The one thing about it, you look at Defiance, and it's hard to tell why you're 1-18. The numbers kind of show it. We understand statistically.
Yeah.
But you look out there, and they've got some elements that could be pretty decent.
Definitely. I think there is a lot of cause for concern and cause for threat in this one. Just great ball movement here, though, to swing that one around.
How about Smith?
Yeah, they got it. So it was Wojciechowski who had to be the guy chasing that one down. That's not his game. That's not what you want him to have to do. So then it was basically Smith all the time in the world in the corner. And they'll be happy they was able to convert that one.
Wojciechowski may have switched the pivot feed right there and got away with it. He'll set that screen on the far side for Swanner. Tipped away, back to Swanner. 8 on the shot clock. Brooks with the left hand, no good. And
Great
then
save.
the rebound inside. Jury will score. The rebound by Gelhausen.
Great work by him to just the touch to keep that one in and the effort to get himself there in the first place. That was very well done.
4-point lead. Simon Blair's entered the lineup, and there's a turnover.
Gelhausen again involved.
Defiance quickly back the other way.
Point was made. May have been an extra step when he collected that.
Maybe they're watching too much NBA. Looks like we're going to have a foul call on Smith. Now, think about Smith. They list Smith at about 6'2", but we've got a timeout.
Great touch again. We're seeing that from Gelhausen to keep that in play.
We'll take a timeout as well. 4-point lead.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Take a look at this one. That's the Smith three-pointer.
Just great ball movement to just swing that one around. And they, again, I mentioned it, they had shifted it so well that the closest to defend for Defiance was their big man, Wojciechowski, and he's just not being able to get from the paint to the three-point arc in time to contest that. So that was just a textbook case of just moving the ball, slinging the rock, and they were able to get that chance there.
Yeah, 285, a little hard to get out there on that three-point shot.
Yes.
Today's game brought to you in part by Wheeler Mission. For 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in need. For more information, or if you'd like to volunteer, give them a call at 317-686-6239.
I'd love to get your take on this. For the next screen that Wojciechowski sets, he kind of just forces you to switch because he kind of just carries you with him. I'm not entirely sure it's legal, but he's so big that you can't really get around it. So keep an eye out for the next screen that he sets. I'm interested to see if I'm just alone in this perspective.
It just kind of happens, huh?
Yeah. He's kind of like, yeah, you're switching now with me. Yeah, that was a walk.
Yeah. Well, he was expecting Jury to come back, and he didn't.
Hand it off to him.
The last thing you want to do is try to make the big guys put that ball on the floor if they can't. So.
Yes. Especially about McGowan is he's comfortable with that. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Wojciechowski, though, you want to avoid that if you can.
That's kind of fun to watch down there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a battle. You got to trade off watching the ball move and also just those two big men duel.
Harden back to McGowan. McGowan, his back to Wojciechowski. Fadeaway jump hook, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Defiance. That was Brooks.
Yeah, that's what the size of Wojciechowski does. We're talking about him a lot because he forces McGowan so far out. He can't just body into him. He can't push him back. He's kind of forced to follow his route a little bit there. Great defensively, though. That may be a chance for McGowan to hold a bit of an ledge, too.
On the run, back the other way, and a foul call. That'll put Sam Piantek to the line for two.
Yeah, Landon Swanner, the one who got called for the foul there. A bit cynical, but honestly probably the right call to just put a lot of contact into that and say, no, you're not getting the easy shot. You got to make him hard at the free throw line.
As they say, you're going to earn it, right?
Exactly.
So Sam at the line for the first time today. This is a Rose-Hulman team that is shooting at 72% from the free throw line. And I say that, which is actually pretty good. He misses.
Yeah. The gym is small enough and we're close enough that they may be able to hear that in the back of their ear. You're hearing you say 72%, and it's like, oh, he's not making that.
You know, the other thing about this is we did the women's game, and how many times did you see a shot close to the basket on this side, didn't go in, but it goes in down there?
Yep. Maybe it is just us. You know, maybe it's the factors. They hear us yapping and they're just put them off a little bit. So I apologize to the players if they
well, I'll tell you what though, they might come over here and tell us to shut up eventually. 5-point lead. Under the 10-minute mark now here in the first half. Great save by Harden.
I think he might have rolled his ankle or something. He's moving a little gingerly here.
And he's had some injuries this year as that's Jury for three, and then he looks back at the Rose-Hulman bench.
Yeah, he tried to throw that off the leg of his opponent to keep that and win his side back the ball, and it ended up in the bench himself. We'll see if he gets brought out here in a moment. He's moving more or less back to full speed. He's
Pride
open, though.
Will find Stoudemire. Well, he injured himself in practice. Speaking of Harden, he's going to shoot this one probably ill-advised.
Yeah.
But he got injured in practice, and his foot got caught underneath the standard.
Yeah.
And so he was out a couple of games.
Yeah, you can see him on the right side of or left side of your screen, just not moving at the full speed. Grimacing a little bit as well.
Brooks missing the three. Pride with a rebound. This is Stoudemire. Stoudemire can push the tempo. Pride looking down low to McGowan. The pass a little bit off the mark. McGowan gets it, and then reverse layup good.
And Cam Martin, 6'7", he's also a big presence. He had 10 points off the bench last time out. He's now the guy who's got the defensive assignment against the big man. And Wojciechowski's getting a bit of a breather. This is, again, the trading act of how often do you put the big men against one another versus try and see how much rotation you can get away with.
Martin out of Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan to be specific.
Great work to keep that in play. Great poke by McGowan. That clock's not going to reset, I don't think, so it's going to be just 6 seconds on the shot clock.
So we'll see a change here as Devin Goodwin will come in.
Just great collect by him, and not easy with Martin right next to him down low, but kept his patience, kept his cool.
The nice thing about that move, though, is you're able to protect your shot with the backboard and the rim, too. So smart move by McGowan. Jury comes out. That's Jordan Jury, so Reed Jury will come in. He's another sophomore.
Yeah, it is interesting. They're not twins, they're brothers, but Jordan, the older one, took a medical red shirt first school he was at.
Shot's going to be missed by Gelhausen. They had the shot clock down to 1. Still a 4-point lead. Studemeyer with the basketball. Now Harden. They're looking back down inside to McGowan. This is Rocco Ritchie. McGowan, Studemeyer, Harden. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Tip up by Pride, can't get it. And Gelhausen with a rebound.
They have had some success swinging it to that side of the court with these quick ball movements. We'll see if that continues throughout the game.
So here is Reed Jury now. Coming up on 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. Brooks on the drive. Got it by maybe a piece of that caught by Cole Pride.
Defensively was very involved regardless.
Rocco Ritchie drives strong, basket good.
They love him shooting those threes. Very threatening beyond the arc. Leads the team at 35% from 3, but great work there to just opt instead to drive that one into some space down low to take the shot.
We have seen Rocco this year when he lights it up from the outside, but like a lot of freshmen, you see some inconsistencies.
Exactly. Very young team, so inconsistency will just be kind of par for the course.
Goodwin gives it up. Gelhausen from 3. Tough shot, Will Gelhausen.
And we talk about the three-point threat that Ritchie brings. Gelhausen at 39% leads the team with 36 makes on the year. That's 37 now.
This is McGowan. Now it'll be Studemeyer gets the screen from McGowan. Now Harden with 14 on the shot clock. Back to Studemeyer. His 3 is launched and good.
He's got deep range. It's a great threat to have. You stand off him a little bit and you give him that much space. It's a deep shot still. Big make back up to 6 points.
I think they'd like to see him maybe even more involved in the offense.
Definitely. Great block by Pride.
Back the other way we go. Studemeyer will feed it off to Rocco Ritchie. Tip from behind. Ball loose on the floor. Pride able to come away with a lot of contact there. In fact, one player still down, and then McGowan wide open underneath.
Yeah, Reed Jury's arm just got kind of crushed as Pride dove for that one. I don't think it was a foul on anybody there, but it was just not fun when you've got a guy the size of Cole Pride landing on you. Great block, though, by Pride to just keep himself active there.
We'll take a timeout, 26-18. College basketball on RHIT.TV, brought to you in part by Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction as well as metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. You can start your career by giving them a call at 219-845-1000. 8-point lead, and here's probably a dangerous stretch if you're Defiance.
Yes.
Don't let this thing get out of hand.
I keep having this similar thought. We had it also in the women's game earlier. How did it get to this kind of lead? 8 points out of nowhere, it feels like. And it really is this point. They were quite close last time against Earlham, but then they had an 11-2 run Earlham did against Defiance that really kind of pulled it away at the end of the first half. And then they had a 5-point lead at halftime, and then it ballooned to 11 points at the end of the game for an 11-point win, obviously, for Earlham.
By the way, in the ball game now, Drayshawn Roberts out of Piqua, Ohio, a 6-foot freshman. The drive by a very stellar player in Hardin, and the layup by McGowan.
And Martin standing off McGowan a bit more than Wojciechowski has been when he's been in the game, and that just gets him more room to move around, more mobility, and he's just threatening off the ball.
So now the lead is at 10, under 5 minutes remaining. Baseline, strong drive, right-hand layup on the left side by Roberts.
That was a great read by Roberts because he saw Martin bringing McGowan out for a screen to his right, drove to the left, the paint was vacated, and he was able to finish that one. Tough finish, but not a 6'7" man down there trying to block your shot.
Here's Pride. Out to Hardin. Bouncing inside to Pride, tried to dunk it, missed it. McGowan misses it. He gets it up and then has it partially blocked as well by Goodwin.
That'll be a frustrating one to get no points from that sequence.
Goodwin trying to make a move there on McGowan.
Yeah, it's a mismatch there, a bit uncomfortable.
You would like to see Pride maybe on this side. I know he wants that dunk as Brooks will shoot it in the corner. That's actually a good one. But you'd like to see him just lay it in for the two.
Definitely. Just as a freshman, you love throwing it down. A lot of fun, especially in a live game.
Studemeyer missed it. Nice save there by Goodwin. And look at the swing now on points when you think if he gets it, you're up by 12, right?
5-point swing. Yeah, it's a massive, massive difference.
So now, as we're at 3:45 to go, Defiance hanging in there. Goodwin with the basketball with 8 on the shot clock. Goodwin driving, and that's just too easy.
Yeah, he just beat his first man, and there was no one really to kind of support and make life difficult for him. Kind of several plays in a row now. Wide open was Richie in the corner. They haven't been able to find him too much.
Pass inside to Pride. Pride turns left hand hard, tipped by McGowan, but right into the hands of Swanner.
Yeah, almost a bit rushed. He didn't have to fade away as much. He beat his man off of him and was able to just kind of maybe potentially rise up a bit closer to the basket and put that one home.
So now Defiance right back in this game. There's another layup at the other end. And we have a 1-point ball game.
Yeah, Rose-Hulman timeout.
Man, timeout on the floor, 28-27.
An active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Jack, I'll tell you what, when you look at how pivotal right now, we got a lot of basketball to be played, but how pivotal that was that Rose could not hit those baskets that close, and all of a sudden you let Defiance right back in this game.
Yeah, Pride goes for the dunk. It was a difficult one, just couldn't quite get it to fall. McGowan had 1, maybe 2 put-back attempts. It didn't fall either. Turn right down the court. It's a 3 from Goodwin, I believe. And then now, that was at 28-20. Could have been 30-20. Now it's 28-27. A 10-point game versus a 1-point game. Obviously, a world of difference there.
So let's see how Rose-Hulman will respond as we've gotten into the 3-minute mark, and a foul call against Heath Cash. Cash was the one who hit that last shot. And then you got to think about defense at the other end. They've had, speaking of Defiance, basically an open lane the last couple of possessions.
They've done really well to kind of drag the big men and the players usually in the paint out of position so that there are driving lanes to go down, and there is, reason to try and attack the rim.
Shot clock at 9. Here is Janegas for 3.
Huge 3 for Janegas to not only be a bench presence offering some points, but to get some more cushion, up to 4 points now, and to hit a 3, which they've been trying to do more and more of today.
I'm certain that for Rose-Hulman, they would love to have had a 10-plus digit lead going into halftime, because it's certainly a psychological difference.
Great defensive work, taking it away.
That'll be the 5th turnover now by Defiance. Studemeyer. Here's Janegas, skip pass. Harden in the corner, shot fake drive. Back to Studemeyer and back to Harden. Harden driving, throws up the shot off the glass, good.
That's a tough make. You may complain why shot selection, but when you make it, you can have absolutely no complaints when it goes to the hoop.
Harden averaging 8, got his first 2. Lead back to 6. So now how will Defiance respond here as we're down to 1:34 to go. Evan Park has checked back in now for Defiance. Here's a 3 on the way, missed by Roberts. And Smith runs it down in the corner. So now Rose-Hulman. Here is Harden straight away. The screen by Janegas. Harden driving strong in the corner. Here is Studemeyer for 3, missed it. Rebound McGowan, put back good.
Great work down low to just stay active. You wanted that 3 to fall, obviously, but out of this timeout, it's been a 7-0 run. Perfectly timed timeout by Sales.
So that breathing room is a little bit more comfortable now, isn't it?
You're back to that 8-point lead you had.
Got a foul call against Smith. Take a look at this shot here.
Incredibly impressive. Just kind of almost tossed that up. And that's a very tall player in front of him in Evan Park at 6'7". Kind of has to put some awkward spin on that. Managed to hit it square with the backboard, and it falls through. It's just some crafty work.
Sometimes they say it is better to be lucky than good, right?
In that case, it definitely was. I mean, we're back to an 8-point game. We were talking about how big a moment it was, but they've kind of really responded well to make it less impactful, if you want to call anything there a mistake.
Yeah. Here's a 3. That's a downtown 3 the other way by Gelhausen.
Yeah, and another one for him. Their leading 3-point taker this year. Made the most for them. If he's able to hit a few, they become a much more dangerous team, and that makes this game 5 points. Try and get one last bucket. If you're Rose-Hulman, try and go into the solid lead.
Studemeyer off the screen. Difference of 8 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Nice pass inside. Finishing it off is Janegas.
Yeah, good work. He stayed active. He was being defended very well by both Brooks and Goodwin. In the end, just found a soft spot in the zone and was able to bring it in.
We'll have to hurry here. Time running out. 2 seconds, 1 second. Fadeaway shot is on the way and no good by Sherrod Brooks. And we've made it to halftime. Right now, Jack, Defiance giving Rose-Hulman everything they want.
They have, and I think Defiance will look at this similar to the 11-2 run they suffered last game against Earlham, where you've got it to a 1-point game. Then Rose-Hulman calls timeout with just a few minutes left, and then they go on a fantastic run there. Try to do the quick math. I think it's about a 9-3 run just to end that half. They go up by 7 now. It's not gone, but they've pulled just a little bit further away where it's going to be uncomfortable in the second half.
And who said you weren't good at math?
That was some quick math. I'm impressed with myself.
I am too.
I'm hopeful that I didn't get it slightly wrong, and I'll remember that in a few minutes.
If we have anybody with a calculator and we'll send it in, we'll let them know, okay?
That sounds great.
We're going to talk some Rose-Hulman baseball. Yeah, the HCAC baseball season is coming up soon. We'll talk with our special guest, Coulter Couillard Rodak, coming up in a few moments right here on RHIT.TV.
If there is one thing wrong in your aircraft, you're going to fail. Finding the right answer and trying again, that's really what dragged me to aerospace. This is a 3D printed airplane which I made over my freshman year at Rose-Hulman that can be radio controlled and flown. I saw other people making amazing stuff on 3D printers, and I thought if I combined that art of 3D printing with engineering, I could make something as complex as an airplane. So I got the idea as a sophomore in high school, and I just tried. I did it. I failed a couple times, but it all changed when I came to Rose-Hulman. I got in touch with Dr. Riley, who is an aerospace and ME professor, who really asked me great questions about the concepts of my design. So pursuing such project as a freshman, it just lets me feel amazing that I have still 3 years to do something much more complex than this, and it will lead me much further.
So my goal is to get involved in space industry and learn about what lies beyond the Earth's horizon. I came across Rose Rocketry. I saw, hey, they're doing some really cool stuff. They're building rockets. I really grew a lot being as part of the team. Last year, through Rose Rocketry, I was able to attend SED's Space Vision 2022, which was a student conference for people who want to get involved in space. And I was able to go to Washington, D.C. and talk to so many people within the space industry who come together and say, this is what the next goals for space are. Being at Rose, I was able to hone my engineering skills to push myself to get involved in the field further and learn about all these different opportunities. And I don't think I would have really gotten that at a bigger university.
$575 of them from 40 states and 19 countries, with a record-breaking number of applications. Did you forget about Rose's outstanding class of 2023 and how 99% of the graduates have landed a position in their dream fields, graduate school, or the military?
The renovations to Munch Hall are finally complete, so I'm sure he'll have plenty to eat at the updated Munch Cafe by the new Living Mall.
We just broke ground on a new residence hall that will be ready for fall 2025.
We celebrated a record-breaking homecoming with more than 2,000 alumni, students, and friends commemorating the 100th anniversary of the bonfire with our first ever drone show. We also welcomed 267 employers for our fall career fair. And perhaps the greatest gift of all, the Wall Street Journal named us to one of the top 20 best colleges in America, and U.S. News & World Report named us the #1 undergraduate engineering college. You can be a little old for a lot of things, but you're never too old or too far away for Rose-Hulman. 2023 was a year of adventurous journeys, of coming together, of growth. No matter how far away you roam this holiday season, you will never be truly alone as long as Rose is your home.
Back here at Rose-Hulman, it is halftime of our men's game, and we're going to talk some baseball. If you followed the HCAC baseball playoffs last year, it was really exciting. I mean, a lot of close games and a lot of fun to watch. And one of the young men that was on that baseball team for Rose-Hulman is with us here this afternoon, as Coulter Couillard-Rodak joining us here this afternoon. I mentioned to you that I saw you guys out on the turf on the football field practicing the other day. Are you guys going south here pretty soon?
Yeah, the plan is this week, hopefully get on the field, and then obviously in a couple weeks, once our classes are done, we'll head down to Georgia and Florida.
Okay, and how long will you be down there, for a week or so? Or
yeah, about a week. We'll opening up with 3 games at Emory, and then another 4 or so games down in Florida.
Yeah. I would imagine that being in the cold weather and all that, you're kind of looking forward to heading down that way, right?
Definitely.
It's a bonding time too, isn't it, where you guys get a chance. You're going to spend a lot of time together and you eat together and all that, so it's a good bonding experience.
Yeah, and this year's a little unique, where in Florida we'll be staying in more houses instead of hotels or something, so we'll be in groups of about 10 or 11 and hopefully make some more bonds that way.
Oh, very good. Tell us a little bit about yourself. For those that don't know, you're from the state of Colorado. I had a guest on the other day who was from Colorado. Made your way out here. What got you to Rose-Hulman?
Well, I don't know if you remember, but Coach Bendel was one of the assistant coaches here my freshman year, and he was actually an alumni from my high school. So just when I was in the recruiting process, I reached out to him, and he responded, and we made a connection that way.
Okay. and your first thought was, why go all the way to Indiana? But you made it here. What drew you to the school especially?
I think Rose-Hulman's kind of unique, where it allowed me to have a really good balance between academics and athletics. I didn't even know coming here about the whole #1 in the country for engineering school, but when I got here, that just kind of solidified and made the right choice.
Was that something you wanted to do when you were in high school? Was that engineering was maybe the thought you were going to go for?
Yeah, the plan was always aerospace, and we don't have a specific aerospace major here, but I'm doing mechanical with the aerospace concentration.
Oh, very good. Now, what will that lead to eventually? Will you have to go to grad school or such? Or?
That's the plan next year, looking to do a master's in aerospace engineering.
Very good. Yeah. Talk about your high school career first. Baseball in Colorado, you get a late start, probably like you do a lot here. And me living in Denver for many years, I kind of understand what it's like weather-wise out there. It's not an easy thing to do until it gets nice.
Yeah, it's definitely similar, especially kind of what we're going through now is where you start with a couple weeks of indoor practices and then you transition to the field and hope to get as much time as you can before the season starts.
Yeah, and knowing here in Indiana, it takes a little while to get warmed up too, so you play in some cold weather for a while too.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been a little bit colder here than my experiences back home because when it's sunny here, it doesn't always translate to feeling warm.
Yeah, very, very true. All right, let's look at this year. Your senior season, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So now you guys want to get this thing done, get that ring, and then certainly get back to the NCAA tournament if you possibly can. What do you see in this team this year?
I think building off last year, we definitely had a younger team, but I think a lot of those younger players have developed a lot. I think my class has definitely been a stronger one than the senior class, so I think we kind of have a feeling that we have something to prove amongst ourselves. And like I said, I'm excited for the younger kids to also kind of grow into their roles a little bit more.
Last year, I mean, it was a lot of fun. That tournament was as exciting as any tournament's going to be. How do you guys build off that and then certainly build off last year as well? Again, as you said, you got some youth on this team this year, but you've got a lot of returning players like yourself for this season.
I mean, obviously it's not the finish we wanted, but that always motivates us, and I think kind of being in that situation was new for a lot of people. So definitely it's something you get more comfortable with. You know, that was my second time there, so I had a little more experience with it, and you could see some of the young guys a little bit of nerves. So hopefully this year we're kind of feel more in our element and ready to go.
Pitching is so important at every level, but especially when you think about the Division III level. If you've got good pitching, you're going to go a long way. What does your pitching staff look like this year?
I think definitely this freshman class has been a big boost for us pitching-wise, bringing in some lefty arms. That's something we were lacking, and I think bringing in velocity is another thing. So I think we had a lot of older guys last year who definitely had some power arms, but I think kind of bringing it across the team, I think our pitching staff definitely made improvement this offseason.
Let's talk about you individually. What do you look? I mean, I look at your bio, and there's a lot of big numbers on here from your 3 years, and now you're into your senior year. What do you look to accomplish this year individually?
I kind of want to go back to my sophomore year a little bit where I had some better numbers. I think I really haven't reached my ceiling yet, so I'm trying to prove that to myself, but also conference.
Yeah. Well, so what areas do you want to improve on the most?
I think power was like a bigger thing for me last year, so I think I need to find a little bit of balance between both contact and power. That's a little bit more was lacking last year, but I think something that I bring to the table is like getting deep in at-bats, so maintaining that can be big for the team.
From a standpoint of this team, where do you guys set in the conference right now? As you were to forecast, I don't think the voting has come out yet on the preseason yet. Where do you guys think you fit in the entire scheme?
I think we definitely see ourselves at the top. It's kind of where we expect ourselves to be every year, and it's kind of where we finish towards the top every year. So I think that's kind of the mentality we have, is that we are up at the top and we need to perform like it.
You bring those young pitchers in, they got to develop pretty quick, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and I think, like I said, they kind of fit in with the team pretty well, and I think they've gotten experience with us and in inter squads and whatnot. So I'll be excited to see what they can do against opponents.
I want to ask you from a standpoint that here at Rose-Hulman, to be a student athlete takes a lot of discipline, and I know that certainly pays dividends in the sports side of things too. But how difficult has it been for the 4 years you've been here to balance it between being a student and an athlete?
Yeah, it's definitely hard, but it's something you get used to. I think kind of the consensus is that sophomore, junior years are the really tough ones, and the senior year get a little bit of a break. So It kind of just comes down to what are your responsibilities and what are your priorities, and making sure you organize those. And it's a skill you got to develop as soon as you get on campus.
Is it hard to believe the time has gone by so quickly? I guess in a lot of ways now you're a senior and you're now in the backstretch of your college career.
Yeah, you look back at some of the things you've done through the 4 years, and it's hard to believe that those were, so long ago. It kind of just feels like a couple weeks ago.
What happens when you get that degree, and again, if you go to grad school, great. If not, maybe there's an employment opportunity eventually. What will you see yourself doing?
The goal is to be an aerospace engineer. Had a couple internships doing that, and that's kind of what Rose-Hulman is all about, is getting you those internships in a career. So looking to do that in the long term.
What can you talk about those internships? Where were they?
Yeah, so after my freshman year, I interned with the Navy base here in Crane, Indiana. I was able to play summer ball for the Rex as well, so that was a good experience. And the last 2 summers, I've been back home with Ball Aerospace.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Do you want to stay in this part of the country, or does it matter where you go?
I think the goal is to go back out west.
Go back out? Yeah, I don't blame you there. Well, you got to deal with all the clouds as much as you do here, for sure. Colter, good luck.
Thank you.
And again, heading south when? In a couple of weeks?
I think it's 3 weeks from now.
3 weeks from now.
Yep.
Yeah, baseball will be upon us. We have a few games. I know at least a handful of games right now of Rose-Hulman baseball. Hopefully we'll have more by the time it's all said and done. If not, we'll definitely see you up in Kokomo, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be back. Second half action coming up right here on RHIT.TV.
575 of them from 40 states and 19 countries, with a record-breaking number of applications. Did you forget about Rose's outstanding class of 2023 and how 99% of the graduates have landed a position in their dream fields, graduate school, or the military?
The renovations to Munch Hall are finally complete, so I'm sure he'll have plenty to eat at the updated Munch Cafe by the new living wall.
We just broke ground on a new residence hall that will be ready for fall 2025.
We celebrated a record-breaking homecoming with more than 2,000 alumni, students, and friends commemorating the 100th anniversary of the bonfire with our first ever drone show. We also welcomed 267 employers for our fall career fair. And perhaps the greatest gift of all, the Wall Street Journal named us to one of the top 20 best colleges in America, and U.S. News & World Report named us the #1 undergraduate engineering college. You can be a little old for a lot of things, but you're never too old or too far away for Rose-Hulman. 2023 was a year of adventurous journeys, of coming together, of growth. No matter how far away you roam this holiday season, you will never be truly alone as long as Rose is your home.
I want to be in that higher tax bracket. That's why I stayed in broadcasting.
Exactly. We're doing things so quickly. A lot of times we know that we need help. So our professors all know us by name.
Basically, everybody knows everybody here.
That one-on-one personal connection you're getting with the faculty, you don't get that a lot of places.
We're not just saying, here, go do this hard project. We are right there with them. We work with them.
The faculty are there for you.
Today's broadcast is a copyright production of IndianaSRN and the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. Any use of audio or video without the express written permission of IndianaSRN and the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference is strictly prohibited. Tell you what, there have been some pretty good shooting numbers, but you have both teams in this one shooting 50+%.
It's remarkable how similar the numbers are for these two teams. I think the big discrepancy and why it's a 7-point game right now is that we've got 16 of 30 right now for Rose-Hulman, 11 of 22. So both teams at 50%, so the success rate's been quite good, but the difference is currently out-rebounding them by 5 is Rose-Hulman, with 5 of those coming on the offensive boards, which only 1 offensive rebound for Defiance. That's been the big difference point here. His second chance looks has been a big turning point for Rose-Hulman. A lot of that coming from Miles McGowan, who's got 4 of those offensive rebounds. He's always active down low, bringing those in, just put him right back up. And from 3, both of them have been quite good. Defiance, 4 of 11. Rose-Hulman, 4 of 9. You know, just very similar numbers, but the rebounding has been the big difference point. But these teams matching up quite well, and it's a close game. It was close last time for Defiance too, and it pulled away from them. It's a big test here. Can they keep it close the next 4, 5, 10 minutes and see where it goes from there?
Question is, can Defiance stop McGowan down low?
Yes.
You talk about 16 in the first half, and I'm not going to say he had his way all the time, but he pretty much dominated inside.
I think they'll want to see more from Wojciechowski, try and get him back into the game. They only brought him in for about a 5-6 minute spell. They don't want to run him too much more than that. I imagine the endurance and just getting up and down the court, a big factor for him. But if they can get a well-timed spell for him to try and slow McGowan at a key moment, that might be a big thing for Defiance.
Yellow Jackets basketball to begin the second half. Off the screen, Gelhausen in the corner. The three-pointer missed by Swanner. And a ball loose on the floor, and we'll have a jump ball. Good hustle, though, by Brooks to get that loose ball.
Just put himself down there and was willing to fight for it. Obviously won't stay with his side, but it'll flip that possession arrow around. So the next high-effort play, potentially swinging their way, just working for that one.
And now the ever-important getting the sweat off the floor. I wasn't sure she was going to move at first. They had to say, come on, let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Because, he was laying there for a good moment. And, obviously just came out of halftime, so maybe a bit fresher than he will be 5-10 minutes from now. But still, you don't want, especially those post players, won't want to have anything going out from under them as they're trying to plant their feet.
How about Cole Pride for three? Missed it. McGowan with the offensive rebound, put back good.
That's offensive rebound number 5 for McGowan. Just an incredible job to bring that one down for him.
By the way, word has it the floor sweepers are union. They only work one half at a time. So here is another three-pointer the other way as Swanner can't get it to go in an offensive rebound. Here's another three and missed. And tipped into the hands of Harden.
We did mention the lack of offensive rebounds, and Sherrod Brooks has already turned around and gotten 2 of them in the opening moments here. Obviously, no points yet. A lot of contact there against McGowan.
Pride down low with the left hand. Can't get the roll.
That's a gimme. You got to hit that one. It'll stay on this end. That's a tough ball for Park, actually. Might have rolled up on him a little bit. You can see it again. Just McGowan just goes up highest. Well timed. Everybody else is leaping, just kind of ducks under it, puts it right back up. Doesn't think about putting that ball on the ground.
But you're right. Pride needs to hit that with the left hand, doesn't he?
He wants that one back.
McGowan drawing the double team. Splits the 2 players, but a foul call on Defiance.
That's tenacious and very aggressive from McGowan. Usually you think about passing out there, you're doubled, but just splits right through it and draws the foul, obviously. Very well done by him.
Now, if you're Defiance, you can't let that happen.
Nope.
First foul on Evan Park. Studemeyer, skip pass, Harden, down low to Pride. He'll draw the double team. 10 on the shot clock. Rocco Ritchie down to Pride and a turnover.
That was some good ball movement. They just couldn't quite keep the entire move together, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from Rose-Hulman.
All right, I'm going to bring something up here, and it's been an Achilles heel of mine, or sore spot.
Sure.
Is the pull-up jumper. Rocco Ritchie driving the lane. Why not pull-up jumper?
Yeah, let him have kind of a bit more free reign there. Great work by Park to just find that soft spot, scoring the first points this half, scored the first points of the game. Also, for Defiance, I totally agree. Just give him a bit more of a green light. Just in that bit of space he finds, just pull that up.
But you don't see, and we talked about this on a lot of our broadcasts, as Pride sets for 3 and missed it short. You just don't see players do that much anymore. You're either going to shoot the 3 or try to drive
the basket. Yeah, you're looking at the expected points for a shot. That's a foul there. It's either you drive to the basket, try and get down low, draw a foul, or be close range, or a 3 where you get an extra point. It's a big difference.
Now, I know you grew up with the three-point line. It's been in your history forever. It wasn't in mine. Has it been better for the game or worse for the game?
Honestly, I couldn't give you that answer properly because, I only know the game as it is, where I've been raised in kind of this analytic, fervor that we have across every sport, which is what's the most efficient way to do these things. You got 4th down conversions in football, and here with you got to shoot a 3, mid-range jumper. No way you do that. That's just way too inefficient. And so that's what I was raised as a fan. So if I saw a player of my team pull up from a long 2, I'm saying, why are you doing that? You only get 2, and it's a tough shot. So that's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Is it good for the game? I have absolutely no idea.
I think that we ought to make it where you can only shoot the 3 in the 2nd and 4th quarters.
That is fascinating. I have no idea how that would impact things.
It would be a lot of fun. Rocco Ritchie, turnaround shot on the way, no.
There is the sort of mid-range, too, that you mentioned for him. I do kind of like that look to just get some space for himself.
See, I've got all kinds of things I'm going to change.
That second and fourth quarter, I would be fascinated with how roster building would change.
Oh, yeah.
Because you'd have to have your paint players for the first and third, and then you'd have to have the players who could obviously shoot the threes when you're allowed to. That'd be too crazy to ever really be in this lifetime, but maybe someday.
Time running out on the shot clock. The fourth shot there by Swanner, no good. Back the other way, here's Harden. Well, I can tell you one thing. Chuck, our producer, asked, well, do we have separate lineups?
That would be
Studemeyer shoots and misses.
That would be interesting.
You would have to bring back the post-up player down low with your back to the basket.
Yep.
They would have. See, I'm improving employment, giving people jobs. That's right. Well, that was near walk down the baseline by Swanner.
Yeah, good job passing it out before he did.
5-point lead. Swanner for three, short, and the rebound by Janigas. When you have time, I'll run down some of the great ideas I have.
I'm excited for this.
I knew you would be.
Swanner, 20 minutes, the 2 boards, 2 turnovers, and a foul. No points to count for. Want to see more from him after this timeout.
Timeout on the floor, 5-point lead.
So my goal is to get involved in space industry and learn about what lies beyond the Earth's horizon. I came across Rose Rocketry. I saw, hey, they're doing some really cool stuff. They're building rockets. I really grew a lot being as part of the team. Last year, through Rose Rocketry, I was able to attend SED's Space Vision 2022, which was a student conference for people who want to get involved in space. And I was able to go to Washington, D.C. and talk to so many people within the space industry who come together and say, this is what the next goals for space are. Being at Rose, I was able to hone my engineering skills to push myself to get involved in the field further and learn about all these different opportunities. And I don't think I would have really gotten that at a bigger university.
Today's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group. Their mission is building better futures one story at a time, and they acknowledge the whole person and their individual story. Give them a call at 317-472-7600. If you could hear the comments being made during the timeout, you can see the difference in our ages because I'm more old school, and you guys are young, I understand that. But we need to get the human element back in the game, too. So not all these replays. There is Harden for three.
Big three for Harden, and it would stun you based on that comment that we're talking about stolen bases in baseball. That was the impetus for these generations are so different. Yeah. That was a big three for Harden, though. Really big three.
Big three and 42-34.
We've also got Wojciechowski back into this game. Sorry to interrupt.
Chuck wants to leave. I said no more replays. I didn't say not a replay, but all this, no more reviews on the replays. Yeah.
Offensive foul as well.
Got Rocco Ritchie. I mean, let's face it. It takes too long to look at that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times before the official makes a decision. We can see it the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, enough about all that. Let's get back to basketball. 8-point lead. But I already told you in the women's game, when I become the emperor, it's changing.
Yeah, I
make sure you give me your number before we leave, so I'll tell you about it when we're all done. Okay?
That warning will be worth millions.
Hard and tough shot.
A bit of confidence from that three, though, to try and attack for that one and look for that opportunity.
Brooks will run the show now. Brooks averaging 9, only 2 today. By the way, Swanner averaging 12. He has not scored today.
Yeah, he's got over 20 minutes of action. They're going to want to see more from him.
Wojciechowski, not much of an offensive threat, but able to get that one up off the glass.
That one just able to just use his raw size to just bow into his opponent and just make things uncomfortable. Also seeing an interesting call here, bringing on Jenigas to have 2 big men to make life uncomfortable for Wojciechowski, where it's not just on McGowan.
Shot clock at 10 as Harden cut off on the drive. Here's Studemeyer. Studemeyer driving off the glass, good.
Good take. It's a really important moment of the game. It can fall either way. You can either extend this lead into a win, or they could make life a little more uncomfortable and just a little more difficult here on Alumni Day.
Double team down low against Gelhausen. Here's Brooks. Well, they need to get Swanner going on offense, but so far has not been able to find very many good shots. That'll be a foul call against Janigas.
I think for Swanner, I think you don't want to force anything to him. I think you're not in a spot in the game where you're thinking, we need to get him back into it. He's got to find his way into this game at his own pace. He was the second leading scorer last year, the leading scorer this year. You trust him to find the hoop.
And they're going to wave it off. We have an offensive foul on that one.
Yeah, obviously didn't go in, so wouldn't hurt quite as bad as if the three was made, but still, you're losing a possession from another turnover here.
Brooks will pick up the foul. That's his second. So now a chance here for Rose-Hulman to get it back into double figures. By the way, Swanner out of Gas City, Indiana. They have about 3-4 players that are from Indiana. Sure that any of the players from Rose-Hulman that played in Indiana have run their path across the other players from the other team as that goes out of bounds. Smith, the turnover. You see that a lot as you take a look at that replay.
And that was just speed. Saw Wojciechowski kind of just clap his hands together. He was frustrated with himself, not able to slide his feet over to put more of a presence there for Studemeyer.
You see, as I mentioned, and when you see like the Franklins and Hanovers and teams like that play in Anderson, there's so many players from Indiana. They're so used to playing against each other. And we've got a blocking foul called against McGowan.
And that foul was a big one because off the ball, Wojciechowski spun well. He was wide open if the ball handler would have been able to get away, but obviously the foul preceding that.
Well, McGowan may have taken one south of the border, so he's probably not feeling too good right now.
Not moving too well.
No. Jury will get it back to Brooks. Shot clock at 9. Brooks, nice spin, and then misses it with the left hand. Wojciechowski has it taken away by Janigas.
Yeah.
Studemeyer will find Smith in the corner. Somehow Studemeyer got back out on the perimeter as quick as anybody.
That was amazing.
Here's McGowan in the corner to Smith, and he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, he's frustrated with himself, obviously. Just his feet just a tiny bit over that line.
Rocco Ritchie back in. And that's one thing about it when you're certainly your presence on the floor, really got to know where you are because that's one of those turnovers I told you earlier that make you lose your head.
Exactly. It's unforced. It's just literally where is your foot on the ground? Is it in across the line or is it inside the border?
So now Defiance still down by 8. They're hanging right in there. Wojciechowski on the high post. And we've got a whistle and a foul on McGowan from behind. You know what? If you're McGowan, you almost think that, you know what, I'm going to back up away from him and unbalance him. He'll probably end up traveling.
Yep. I think that's something that we're going to see him come out of the game. So maybe not him, but maybe Blair, because there are 2 6'7" guys in. So you got multiple guys against him. That's 100% what I'm thinking about. He doesn't look incredibly comfortable backing into you with the dribbling move. So if you suddenly bring his support that he's got against you out, we can see what happened there. You can see him putting it to the ground. Another jump ball here, not the most perfect system.
Well, here's one thing about it, too. Now you just stepped on Blair's foot. For Wojciechowski, you want him to put that ball on the floor.
Yes, you do.
Now, he's saying he got hit on the arm, but once you bring that ball down, I mean, there's so much reaching going on, nobody's going to see that foul.
Exactly. It opens up a world of possibilities.
Good one on the drive and a foul call, and Rose-Hulman doesn't like this one too much.
The game is kind of grinded to a halt in the last few moments with some of these foul calls, and not saying that they're wrong necessarily, but it really has kind of changed the flow of this game. It's keeping Defiance alive in this one. Some extra possessions. Huge free throws. Huge free throws. You can see it again here. Yeah, it seemed like Studemeyer may have been a little overzealous and reaching in there.
By the way, it's only a 5-3 foul difference. Rose-Hulman with the 5. And, you know, we can certainly talk about that Northwestern game not too long ago against Purdue and how much of a discrepancy that was, but not here today.
Yeah, it impacts things tremendously. You know, we see it in the NBA and every level of the game, just how officials, they do their best job, but how offensive players, they protected, they're not protected. Does it change game to game? Does it change league to league? And how much that impacts the state of the game we see.
Lead at 7. Studemeyer crosses the lane. Rocco Ritchie catch and release and hits a 3.
That's a big one for him. I believe his first on the day. It's just going to help spread the floor so much when he's able to knock down those shots.
5 now for Ritchie, averages 9 per game. Lead back to 10. Well, how about that? Janigas with the steal. Janigas one to beat, the little Euro step, basket good.
That was from start to finish. He read the pass, jumped it, tips it away, and in transition just brings that ball over the defender's head, takes that extra step, and lays it in with some comfort.
If you're going to get it to Wojciechowski, too, you want him on the block.
Yeah.
Your angle to throw it in there's got to be different than trying to throw it over the top.
Yeah, they're getting the ball to him too high, Right now, even when he's setting that screen, you want him deep down in the paint.
Well, Simon Blair has a little more body to work with as that shot's missed, and the rebound by Harden.
Almost saw Wojciechowski trying to just take the foul to slow things down. Ritchie again.
Missed it. Rebound put back good by Harden.
And that comes with, again, Wojciechowski talked about him a lot, but it really does permeate from him. He's trying to get back all the way across the court. Harden, though, as the guard quicker up the court, able to just duck in and find that loose one as it fell kindly for him. 14 points.
Yeah, no kidding. Big lead now is, how about Wojciechowski? Hey, I can shoot the 3, and a rebounding foul called on Jury. Now, let's be honest. I doubt they wanted that shot by Wojciechowski. Take another look at the replay.
Yeah, that's the 3 from Ritchie. The missed one that put back by Harden. Fantastic work by him to just get there, get to the spot. It won't always fall for you, but when it does, you get those 2 points.
51-37 here in the second.
575 of them from 40 states and 19 countries, with a record-breaking number of applications. Did you forget about Rose's outstanding class of 2023 and how 99% of the graduates have landed a position in their dream fields, graduate school, or the military?
The renovations to Munch Hall are finally complete, so I'm sure he'll have plenty to eat at the updated Munch Cafe by the new Living Mall.
We just broke ground on a new residence hall that will be ready for fall 2025.
We celebrated a record-breaking homecoming with more than 2,000 alumni, students, and friends commemorating the 100th anniversary of the bonfire with our first ever drone show. We also welcomed 267 employers for our fall career fair. And perhaps the greatest gift of all, the Wall Street Journal named us to one of the top 20 best colleges in America, and U.S. News & World Report named us the #1 undergraduate engineering college. You can be a little old for a lot of things, but you're never too old or too far away for Rose-Hulman. 2023 was a year of adventurous journeys, of coming together, of growth. No matter how far away you roam this holiday season, you will never be truly alone as long as Rose is your home.
Rose-Hulman basketball brought to you in part by Piper Logistics. Piper Warehouse is a group of logistics professionals dedicated to working together to provide their clients with complete logistics packages. Offices in Indianapolis and Cincinnati. Give them a call at 317-396-1023. Halfway through the second half. And now Rose with a comfortable lead at 51-37. Studemeyer releases and hits it.
That's a huge 3. Makes it a 17-point game right out of that media timeout. You're able to really kind of put your foot on the throats of Defiance, make it the spot where this feels like it's the moment of no return. If you can't get someone going here, it might be too late.
Nice screen and roll, and a foul called on Janigas will send Martin to the line.
And Cam Martin trying to follow up on a 10-point effort last time out. Averages just 3.6 a night. Usually coming off of the bench. He'll try and keep some flow going moving into this one. It's a big free throws.
Well, at some point you're under the 10-minute mark and a free throw missed. You've got to start making a move here pretty soon.
Yeah, it is a 17-point game, and it's kind of sneakily gotten to that point. It was only 7 at the half. Obviously, moving 10 points further since then. And 0 for 2 there, it really is a backbreaker.
Rocco Ritchie the rebound. Chance here for Rose-Hulman to continue to build on that lead. Studemeyer looking inside to McGowan. McGowan draws the double team again. The kick out, Harden for 3.
Bang.
Yes.
Back-to-back threes, Stoudemire, then Harden. Just exactly what you want to see at this moment of the game. If you're making threes, a team that doesn't make them at the best clip makes life really hard. Ooh, that's big.
Yeah, basket good by Goodwin. He'll go to the line for one.
Aggressive from him, and that's what you want. It's a perfect response. They don't shoot threes at the best clip. Defiance don't. So if you're going to get to the basket and you get an and one, it's just as good.
You know, I was watching the other end, Martin, who was down low. You could see he was yelling for help on that because if he's one-on-one with McGowan, as you're taking a look at that shot,
yeah,
he's going to get beat.
Yep. Yeah, you don't want to isolate things like that. And it's you've got Jenigas. Now he's coming off for Pride. With both Pride and McGowan, there's a lot of size. And you almost got kind of two guys for Martin to think about down low who can really put a size mismatch against anybody else on the floor. Makes Martin's job very difficult.
Reed Jury is in now. He'll be guarding Harden. Harden, the senior, blows right by him.
That was a great burst of speed.
Here's McGowan. The kick out. Nice ball movement. Back once again to Harden. Shot fake drive. Throws it up. Probably had McGowan down low, but McGowan able to tip it out front. Stoudemire. Three on the way. No. And Jury with a rebound. Well, I'll tell you what, if Harden drives in next time, he had McGowan wide open underneath. Three's going to be missed. McGowan, and a foul in the backcourt called against Jury.
Yeah, let's check out this three-pointer again. Well slung out by McGowan to pick out Harden for that three. Just well read by the big man to find the open guard and just catch and shoot.
That is the seventh foul, and should say the fifth foul on Defiance. 7 fouls on Rose-Hulman. 17-point lead still as we're under 8.5 minutes. Here's Harden. A little double high post here, and then they'll move McGowan to the high post, and the drive with the left hand stripped out of his hands. They had at one point Cole Pride. He moved down. McGowan moves up. McGowan receives it, and then you got to guard the high-low.
Exactly.
That's tough to do if you're Defiance.
It's very tough to do. Not sure they have the personnel really to match that up perfectly. You can see it again. You just see the reach in. Reed Jury, another foul. Few for him in quick succession.
That's the first time, by the way, the first time I think that McGowan's gone to the line all day, which is unusual. Am I right?
I think it feels like the first time. And for a guy with, as much influence as he has, he's got 1 of 1. Does that count in this one? It does count in this one. So that was his first free throw attempt. Here's number 2. He's up to 20 points.
Yeah, McGowan, as active as he is inside and as physical as it is, hard to believe he's been there for the first time. And I think they're going to call a kick, right?
Yes, yeah, no foul, and he was quite frustrated. I think Harden thought that he was called for a foul, but it was just a slight reach of the right foot to block the dribble by Jury. You can see it again here. Yeah. Reaches out the foot a little bit and just blocks it.
19-point lead. 8 minutes remaining. Rose trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. It would move them to 7-7 in conference play, still in 6th place. Here's Martin, short jumper, rims in and out, rebound McGowan, and he got slapped there by Reed Jury, his second.
Jury's had a few fouls in quick succession here.
We've got a timeout on the floor, 7:47 remaining. Rose-Hulman leads it by 19.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all the reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Today's game brought to you in part by Passion to Care. They're dedicated to helping you care for a loved one. Through Indiana State programs, they provide financial compensation. For more information, call 833-420-6640. You know, the good thing about producers like Chuck and guys we have on this staff, they can multitask because we're doing research on stolen bases.
And I was saying, not even about basketball.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, here's some stats about McGowan. He's at the free throw line again. He's gotten 3 today. He averages however many seasons. Now he's got stolen bases by year. The trends we're experiencing, well, the changes in baseball. I love it personally.
I do too. Second free throw by McGowan. Did not go there in the entire first half. Now 4-4 from the line here in the second half. 21-point lead.
Some really efficient shooting. It's 51% from the field, 44% from three for Rose-Hulman. Numbers that are much better than their season averages. And, you know, Defiance hasn't played poorly today, but it's a 21-point game because the offense has been clicking for Rose-Hulman throughout.
By the way, you'd mentioned that the 7th place team losing.
Yes. Currently, Earlham up by 11 over Mount St. Joseph, which is the team in 7th. If these results hold, it will be a 2-game gap with a big head-to-head to come on February 10th, which probably could confirm it if a win comes there on the road for Rose.
Defiance with a big turnover there. Rocco Ritchie with the basketball. Now to Studemeyer. Try to wisely set it back to Studemeyer. Inside to McGowan. Finger roll, and he's fouled.
You don't want to write a game off, but the combo of that turnover and McGowan just continuing to be relentless down low, they're in a great, great spot to make it 2 wins over Defiance in the day for the basketball programs of Rose-Hulman.
Well, I think you're right earlier when you talked about the efficiency of the offense right now. Rose, it just seems like they're getting any shot they want.
Yeah, that one for McGowan, just I think they found a lot of joy, obviously, with both Pride and McGowan. Not something unique that they're doing to just this game, but just the combo of them and that high-low is just really hard for that one big man in Martin to really properly deal with. And defensively, they've been very good as well.
Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure is looks like Studemeyer stepped out of bounds. That Defiance is having a more difficult time. They shot 50% in the first half.
Yes.
That's not quite the same in the second half.
I think they've taken 12 shots second half, 14 rather. They've only made 2 of them.
So and if my math is correct, that's not 50%, is it?
Not 50%. It's 5 shots below.
Here's a shot on the way, no good, and that number goes down again. Rocco Ritchie with the rebound off the miss by Goodwin. Nice pass. McGowan underneath, left hand basket, and he is putting things together now.
He's pouring them out. I think a big chunk of why he's so effective down low is his work rate to get up and down the court, especially offensively. He's so often an option, one of the first options you can even have as a guard. You look up, oh, my big man's already there. Let me find him down low before they get set. He's able to get down low, keep them off their focus, off their footing. Great left-handed layup there for the and one. And maybe we did speak it into existence with just the lack of free throws at first. He now leads the team. He's got 5 already. This will be number 6.
And he's perfect. By the way, Daniel Savovich has come in now for Rose-Hulman. Also coming in is Troy McManus. Savovich number 10, McManus number 15. Now a 27-point lead. We're going to see more players come in now for Rose. I think they feel they've sewn this one up.
Yes, definitely. I at 27 points, great block there as well. 6:15 left, 27-point lead at home against Defiance, who are on 17-game losing streak. You got to win this.
Yeah.
You see it out, and you'll bring in some different options, rotate things, and just keep the legs fresh. And honestly, just having fresh legs is going to be probably enough to see it out.
Gabe Adams out of Kalispell, Montana, number 33, checking into the lineup. Also coming in, number 55, which is Jack Murphy.
Nice roll for Park.
Park with 6. By the way, Murphy out of Westport, Connecticut. He is a 6'6" sophomore. McManus down low to Murphy. How about Murphy's move with the left hand, and he couldn't finish it.
Gets it back, though.
Yeah. Put back, no.
Great work to keep it alive, but 0 for 2 down there on that possession.
And he thought maybe it didn't work on the left side. I'll try the right side. Foul the other way.
I think a positive for Defiance, Evan Park getting back involved in things. 15 minutes last game. Couldn't quite put a hold on things. Got no points in that time. This time round, got 6 points, back to his season average of 6.1. It's important for him to just offer another big man option for them down low. Him, Martin, Wojciechowski. If one or two of them aren't entirely efficient, puts things off.
Free throw missed by Brooks. 5.5 remaining. McManus. Nice move inside. Basket good. And Adams gets on the board.
Frustration for Park. He's saying he had his hand straight up. Would have been clean defense, but shot was made regardless, and a chance for maybe a bonus point here.
It's going to be a long ride home for this Defiance basketball team. Played well early, as we talked about. They shot extremely well in the first half, as the free throw is good.
I think you said it with the women's Defiance side. If you don't have experience winning, it can be hard to put together an entire performance. That's been the issue. There have been good spells. They've played some good basketball at moments, Defiance have. They just haven't been able to string it together.
Three-pointer will be missed, and we're going to stay here. Foul underneath against Murphy.
Yeah. Looked to have just gotten into the back of Park.
Well, here's the other thing is Landon Swanner has not scored today. We mentioned he averages 12 per game, and he just could not find his mark.
And fundamentally, when your leading scorer has no points after 35 minutes of basketball and you're missing the first ends of, 1-and-1s, it's just tough to string together enough for a result.
70-42. This is McManus. They keep Harden, the senior, in the ball game. It'll give him an extra ball handler. Harden for three, can't get it to go. And how about that? McManus coming away with a loose basketball.
Just energy, just hustle to get there. That's all that is.
Go ahead and take that shot.
Poked away, well done by Park.
Gelhausen will kick it out. Here's a three missed by Swanner. He stays scoreless. Savovich with the basketball. Daniel got a lot of playing time earlier in the year. His numbers have gone down a little bit over the last few weeks.
Chance here in the next 4 minutes to have some impact as we get down towards the business end of the season.
Well, at this stage, we mentioned earlier, Rose will snap a 3-game losing streak. More importantly, they'll go to 7-7 in the conference. Able to pick up the loose basketball, and missing it inside is Adams with a foul call on the outside. And we'll go to the free throw line.
Just keeping an eye elsewhere. It's tightened up a bit between Earlham and Mount St. Joseph. Just a 5-point game. Under 4 minutes there, so a chance to maybe keep that race alive. Keep hot on the trails of Rose-Hulman. Earlham obviously second bottom at 3-10. So although leave on the road, it's one that would be tough.
Yeah.
Mount St. Joseph would hope.
Well, you love it that right there if you're Mount St. Joe, because bottom line is 2-possession game with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, you're right in this game.
Adams hits the first free throw. And a fan favorite coming in now is Hayden Days will come in at DeMott, Indiana, 6'6" freshman.
It's his 5th appearance this season so far. Air ball there.
Yeah, but you almost expect to shoot an air ball right there, but he got too quiet.
It was eerily. So
it was.
It puts you off. As an announcer, you're like, do I talk during this? It feels like you're talking during almost like the anthem or something. It's like almost taboo.
The drive layup good by Swanner, finally on the board.
Yeah, that'll be big for him. I think the next 4 minutes, they do matter for him. Just don't leave today with the goose egg. Leave today with some points on the board. Obviously probably won't be enough to bring your team back into it, but just keep the rhythm, get it back, and don't leave today as a massive confidence detractor.
Nick Sales is scheduled to join us for a couple of minutes after the game. There's a three by Studemeyer and a miss. Quickly the other way. catch release on three will be missed by Cash.
I'm liking how they're running the floor, even though it's a tough one here. They're getting the options, and they're quickly trying to get in transition for Defiance.
Studemeyer backs it away as he will feed it off. Here's a three on the way, missed. As Days can't get it to go, goes out of bounds. Last touch by Adams. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 3:03 remaining. Rose leads at 71-44.
If there is one thing wrong in your aircraft, you're gonna fail. Finding the right answer and trying again, that's really what dragged me to aerospace. This is a 3D printed airplane which I made over my freshman year at Rose-Hulman that can be radio controlled and flown. I saw other people making amazing stuff on 3D printers, and I thought if I combined that art of 3D printing with engineering, I could make something as complex as an airplane. So I got the idea as a sophomore in high school, and I just tried. I did it. I failed a couple times, but it all changed when I came to Rose-Hulman. I got in touch with Dr. Riley, who is an aerospace and ME professor, who really asked me great questions about the concepts of my design. So pursuing such project as a freshman, it just lets me feel amazing that I have still 3 years to do something much more complex than this, and it will lead me much further.
Well, just over 3 minutes remaining in this one. Make sure you check out the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference website. You'll get all the scores. It's a 3-point ball game between Earlham and Mount St. Joe, so that's going to be tight. So you want to watch and see how the standings line up after today.
Could be as much as a 2-point or 2-game gap across that massive barrier that's between 6th and 7th. Who gets in the tournament, who doesn't get in the tournament.
Boy, it just shows you how difficult it's going to be down the stretch. Savovich with a rebound, the outlet pass, turnover.
Roberts got across from that.
Wojciechowski decided he was going to tip that out of bounds, and so it'll go back over to Rose. Saw Coach Sales talking with McManus. I think the bottom line is they'd like to run a little bit, yes, but just take care of the ball.
Yes. I think it's much as you can take, as we say that, taking the quick shot there. You know.
By the way, Terrell Doxey is in out of Surprise, Arizona. He's another freshman.
Yeah, I think as much as you can eat off of the clock on every possession, the better. Save your energy from having to walk up and down the court on these double bonus shots.
By the way, Doxey, I don't think we have seen him play in the games we have done this year. Line drive, free throw, he is good. I like that by Deshaun Roberts. He was ready to give Savovich, hey, congratulate me on that free throw.
That's a very, line drive. Interesting strategy.
Well, his teammates weren't going to help him, so.
Great reading there from Jenkins. Saw the pass coming a mile away, got across from it, couldn't quite take it away. If he did, he would have been halfway to the basket by the time the ball even touched the ground.
Yeah. So Doxey gets the high screen. That is Savovich back to Doxey. Turnaround shot from 15 is short by Days. Put back, no. McManus with a rebound. Rose again will just run this out, and we got a foul call by Wojciechowski. To give you an idea of how the rest of the schedule looks here for Rose, they'll play Hanover coming up on Wednesday. That's a 7:30 tip-off time. Then they'll go to Mount St. Joe and they go to Earlham. Those are two very winnable games for sure.
Tie game now.
Tied at 60.
With 45 to go. That's a tight one over at Earlham.
Second free throw is good as James Stacy is in. So just think that Hanover game, that'll be a team above you.
Yep.
And then you have Mount St. Joe and Earlham, and then Franklin's their last game. The drive basket good by Jenkins. But you got to go to Mount St. Joe and you got to go to Earlham.
Yep.
and you'll be back home against Franklin. That'll be the senior day game. But again, it's kind of like the women. You have all of this really in your own hands, don't you?
Yes, there's a chance that in the next few games we could look at a very different complexion. It could be, are you chasing down someone in front of you, or are you really worried about what's happening behind you? And am I going to slip all the way out from this top 6 position that I'm currently in? This win does a world of good. We're going to keep an eye on this Earlham result and see where that one ends up falling. That I imagine, Christian might end up actually having an interest in that and seeing what happened elsewhere. Because a 2-game lead, that becomes a massive, massive amount when the 2 games is half the remaining schedule at this point.
McManus for 3, got it. McManus getting his first bucket of the day.
Yeah, it was a close game at halftime, but this second half, we've seen Defiance really tick down on their scoring efficiency, and they've been as relentless, if not even more relentless, Rose has been in this second half to just make things uncomfortable.
Turnover, Wojciechowski can't come up with it. Earlham back the other way, and layup at the other end in the ball game. Eddie Simon Jr. got some playing time the last time we were here.
Able to get that one under pressure. I thought maybe he was thinking about trying to throw that one down, but just couldn't quite get the footwork with someone steaming right behind his, hot in his heels.
Here's a 3 the other way off the mark. As Landon Wells in the ball game now for Defiance, and that's going to be knocked out of bounds. Probably not going to see too many calls this late in the ball game.
No, and also I think in Wojciechowski's defense, he's just kind of just there. He's a huge person, and imagine that does not help you for calls sometimes, on either end, where, maybe the normal amount of contact for him is more for another, and what he has to deal with may be differently proportioned out. Great rebound.
Yeah, McManus missed, but Murphy puts it in. Everybody getting in the scoring column now. Earlham leads it by 2.
5 seconds to go.
Oh.
They scored with 18 left, a timeout by Mount St. Joe. Don't have the broadcast, we're only seeing the stats, so we're seeing just kind of a different way to consume a basketball game.
Yeah.
Just waiting eagerly for the next update. But that one's 5 seconds away from really putting them in a fantastic position to try and seal things up.
Tell you one thing for sure, 5 seconds with the advancement of the ball the way it is, depending where it was on the floor, you got a lot of time to get a bucket here.
A lot of time.
Free throw missed. Roberts has that line drive shot. Got the second one. So we're under 30, a 30-point lead. Doxey with the basketball. They can run it out here. You don't need to shoot anymore. You don't need to foul anymore, and it'll be over.
It's a big win. It's one you were expected to do against a team who's 1-18, but it caps off a day with 2 wins, an emotional day for the women, a big day for the men, a chance for it to really be impactful in terms of seeding come the end of the month.
7-point lead at halftime turns into a 30-point win, so it kind of gives you an idea just how big that second half was.
They were incredibly efficient, and they allowed, I think, a bit more for Defiance than maybe they wanted to. Allow 30 in the first half, allowed just 19 in the second half. The offense was as good as it was, but the defense really locked in and saw the result.
We'll come back and get a chance to talk with the head coach, Nick Sales, coming up in a moment right here on RHIT.TV.
So my goal is to get involved in space industry and learn about what lies beyond the Earth's horizon. I came across Rose Rocketry. I saw, hey, they're doing some really cool stuff. They're building rockets. I really grew a lot being as part of the team. Last year, through Rose Rocketry, I was able to attend SED's Space Vision 2022, which was a student conference for people who want to get involved in space. And I was able to go to Washington, D.C. and talk to so many people within the space industry who come together and say, this is what the next goals for space are. Being at Rose, I was able to hone my engineering skills to push myself to get involved in the field further and learn about all these different opportunities. And I don't think I would have really gotten that at a bigger university.
Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at askrose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at askrose.org.
575 of them from 40 states and 19 countries, with a record-breaking number of applications. Did you forget about Rose's outstanding class of 2023 and how 99% of the graduates have landed a position in their dream fields, graduate school, or the military?
The renovations to Munch Hall are finally complete, so I'm sure he'll have plenty to eat at the updated Munch Cafe by the new living wall.
We just broke ground on a new residence hall that will be ready for fall 2025.
We celebrated a record-breaking homecoming with more than 2,000 alumni, students, and friends commemorating the 100th anniversary of the bonfire with our first ever drone show. We also welcomed 267 employers for our fall career fair. And perhaps the greatest gift of all, the Wall Street Journal named us to one of the top 20 best colleges in America, and U.S. News & World Report named us the #1 undergraduate engineering college. You can be a little old for a lot of things, but you're never too old or too far away for Rose-Hulman. 2023 was a year of adventurous journeys, of coming together, of growth. No matter how far away you roam this holiday season, you will never be truly alone as long as Rose is your home.
So I started working on Babcock Ranch 16 years ago. We designed a sustainable community that is also storm resilient, and also it has a ton of flood control associated with it. It has 75 megawatt solar facilities on site, which will cover the entire 18,000 acre community. In September of 2022, we had Hurricane Ian. We had 150 mile an hour sustained winds for about 10 hours and 21 inches of rain. Babcock really had little to no damage at all. We were the only place in a 2-county area that had any electric or any available drinking water that did not need to be boiled. And Rose really prepares you to go out, think outside the box, and problem solve. And I think for any major at Rose-Hulman, that's what you're getting. You have the ability to go out and create something new and innovate and change the way that we live as humans today.
If there is one thing wrong in your aircraft, you're gonna fail it. Finding the right answer and trying again, that's really what dragged me to aerospace. This is a 3D printed airplane which I made over my freshman year at Rose-Hulman that can be radio controlled and flown. I saw other people making amazing stuff on 3D printers, and I thought if I combine that art of 3D printing with engineering, I could make something as complex as an airplane. So I got the idea as a sophomore in high school, and I just tried. I did it. I failed a couple times, but it all changed when I came to Rose-Hulman. I got in touch with Dr. Riley, who is an aerospace and ME professor, who really asked me great questions about the concepts of my design. So pursuing such project as a freshman, it just lets me feel amazing that I have still 3 years to do something much more complex than this, and it will lead me much further.
So my goal is to get involved in space industry and learn about what lies beyond the Earth's horizon. I came across Rose Rocketry. I saw, hey, they're doing some really cool stuff. They're building rockets. I really grew a lot being as part of the team. Last year, through Rose Rocketry, I was able to attend SED's Space Vision 2022, which was a student conference for people who want to get involved in space. And I was able to go to Washington, D.C. and talk to so many people within the space industry who come together and say, this is what the next goals for space are. Being at Rose, I was able to hone my engineering skills to push myself to get involved in the field further and learn about all these different opportunities. And I don't think I would have really gotten that at a bigger university.
$575 of them from 40 states and 19 countries, with a record-breaking number of applications. Did you forget about Rose's outstanding class of 2023 and how 99% of the graduates have landed a position in their dream fields, graduate school, or the military?
The renovations to Munch Hall are finally complete, so I'm sure he'll have plenty to eat at the updated Munch Cafe by the new living mall.
We just broke ground on a new residence hall that will be ready for fall 2025.
We celebrated a record-breaking homecoming with more than 2,000 alumni, students, and friends commemorating the 100th anniversary of the bonfire with our first ever drone show. We also welcomed 267 employers for our fall career fair. And perhaps the greatest gift of all, the Wall Street Journal named us one of the top 20 best colleges in America, and U.S. News & World Report named us the #1 undergraduate engineering college. You can be a little old for a lot of things, but you're never too old or too far away for Rose-Hulman. 2023 was a year of adventurous journeys, of coming together, of growth. No matter how far away you roam this holiday season, you will never be truly alone as long as Rose is your home.
Back here at Rose-Hulman, a convincing win this afternoon for the men's basketball team. Coach Sales kind enough to join us here. I know that it's been one of those seasons, feels like it's been up and down, but you're still in the playoff race. I saw that Mount St. Joe lost to Earlham earlier, so it gives you a little cushion, a little bit behind you. You still have, 4 games remaining, so a lot can happen between then and now. Close first half. Talk about what happened in the second half that made it such a big difference.
Defiance does a great job of mixing up defenses, and that didn't allow us to be comfortable. But what my thing was, we gave up layups at the rim off scouting report specific stuff. That was my frustration, because when you get stops and you're able to play fast, now you got a bunch of transition opportunities, and we limited ourselves with those opportunities by not following scout specific things. I also thought we missed some layups at the rim that we left points out there, and I was just a little disappointed about our energy to start the game.
Yeah.
But in the second half, guys responded the way they know how to.
Miles McGowan had a big game for you, and certainly a guy that's so dominant inside, and they were eventually having to double team him. Sometimes it almost looked like a triple team to get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, I mean, and Miles is going to see different defenses. Most of the time it's going to be a double, and that's why it's important for us to try to get him as many one-on-one situations as possible. And he did a really good job of finishing the day, and I know he feel like he should have had 40, and I feel like the same thing. I hold him to the highest standard, and he does himself, and that's what makes him the player that he is, and he works at it. I'm really happy he's on my team.
When you can get him going inside, and then you get guys like Studemeyer and Rocco Ritchie hard and shooting from the outside, that inside-outside combination can be pretty deadly at times.
Absolutely, and that's how I want to play. I never want to rely on one or two guys to have to score 20, but I want to have guys that are threats inside and guys that are threats outside, and we just got to get everybody to play together and make shots at the same time. That's the goal. Everybody locked in defensively, following the plan, and just having a selfless team that is running good offense, and whoever night it is, we happy with it, but they take advantage of it. A part of that roller coaster, I think, is just we've had guys just have open opportunities and then there's not being able to knock them down. But once we get that rhythm where everybody is making their shots and locked in for a full 40 defensively, I think we've got a chance to be pretty good. But time is running out.
Yeah.
And so the intensity is picked up a lot in practice. And I've had a lot of conversations with my senior leaders, and they understand the importance of it. So we just got to go out there and not have no regrets.
4 games remaining, and I know you take one game at a time because there's nothing you can do about the other 3 except for the one in front of you. Talk about your next game and some of the expectations there.
Yeah, Hanover's a really good team, and obviously Coach Miller's been there for a long time, done a great job. I actually played for Coach Miller my first 2 years at Defiance, so we have a great relationship, and they got a 5th-year senior and some older guys. And we went up there and had a big lead early, and then it was a 1-point game with 13 minutes to go, and then they hit a couple shots. And so, and I haven't beaten them since I've been here, so I need our guys to be locked in. I mean, we can't start the way we did tonight or we're going to be in trouble, and we got to be, we had a close game up at Transy, and if you're not locked in versus those guys for 40 minutes, you blow a 10-point lead. And so our guys, we've had too many lessons, and I'm sick of learning lessons while we lose. I need us to learn lessons as we win, like today.
And beating everybody in front of you certainly helped you move up that ladder in seeding for the tournament later in the year.
Absolutely. It's hard for you to tell 18 to 22-year-olds. We just got to worry about ourselves. I'm sure they're checking their phones and looking to see how everybody else did. But I'm solely focused on that with this group ever since I got them. It's just we got to get better every day. When 13 of your 20 guys are freshmen at Rose-Hulman, not only academically is it a challenge, but, I got more than half my guys. This is their first time playing college basketball.
Yeah.
So, and it's the long season for them, right? Yeah. And now they're getting ready for finals in 2 weeks. So I just got to find a way to make sure when they come to basketball, they focused on basketball so we playing our best at the end of the year.
Coach, congratulations on the win. We'll see you next time, okay?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Thanks for all you guys do. Appreciate it. And thanks to all of our alums, the ones that were here, and the ones that watch at home. We really appreciate it, and we trying to represent you guys well. And thank you for all you guys do as well.
Big win today. We'll come back and wrap it up right here on RHIT.TV.
We're doing things so quickly. A lot of times we know that we need help. So our professors all know us by name.
Basically, everybody knows everybody here.
That one-on-one personal connection you're getting with the faculty, you don't get that a lot of places.
We're not just saying, here, go do this hard project. We are right there with them. We work with them.
The faculty are there for you.
As we wrap it up, don't forget we're back here next Wednesday. The tip-off time will be at 7:30. Pre-game at around 7:20. We'll have all the action right here on RHIT.TV. Thanks for being with us. Thanks to all, the staff here as well. Great job this afternoon. We'll see you next time right here on Rose-Hulman Basketball.